Have you ever felt invisible in someone's life, like no matter how much you give, they barely notice? Maybe you've tried everything to be there for them, but somehow you're always left feeling like you don't matter. It's frustrating, right? You start to wonder if they'd even care if you were gone. What you allow is what will continue. This quote rings true when it comes to people who take you for granted. What if you just disappeared? No more texts, no more waiting around for them to value your time, no more wondering if you're good enough. How would they react if you simply walked away? Today, we're diving into what happens in the mind of someone who assumes you'll always be there when you finally decide to go silent. Let's talk about the journey they go through and what it reveals about your own worth. 1. Initial shock and rejection. When you decide to step back from someone, they might not realize how much they relied on you until you're gone. If you don't take this action, they could continue to treat you like an option, always expecting you to be there for them. This can lead to frustration and resentment on your part, as you feel unappreciated and taken for granted. There's a saying sometimes you have to step away from the people you love to teach them how much they need you. This highlights the importance of your absence. When you leave without warning, it forces the other person to face their own behavior and feel the sting of rejection. They start to question why you left and what they did wrong. Practical advice: if you're in a situation where you feel unvalued, consider going silent for a while. Don't explain your reasons or give them a heads up. Just pull away. This will hit them hard, making them realize how much you contributed to their life. Remember, sometimes the best way to show your worth is to make them see what life is like without you. Let them sit with that shock and start reflecting on their actions. 2. Growing void and emptiness. Once you disappear from their life, they'll start to feel an emptiness they didn't expect. If you don't take this step, they may continue to assume that you will always be there, leading to a lack of appreciation for what you bring to the relationship. This can leave you feeling even more frustrated and undervalued as they treat you as just a background presence. As the saying goes, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. This perfectly captures the feeling of loss. When you are no longer around, they begin to notice the void you left behind. They might fill their time with distractions, but the truth is, no one else can bring the same energy and support you did. Practical advice: if you decide to step back, make sure to remove yourself completely from their life. Unfollow them on social media and don't respond to messages. Let them feel the absence of your presence. Encourage them to reflect on the little things they took for granted. The more they realize they can't replace you, the deeper that void will feel. 3. Curiosity and obsession. When you disappear, curiosity will kick in for the other person. If you don't take this step, they might continue to assume they have you figured out, and this could lead to complacency in the relationship. They'll never have to question their feelings or your importance in their life. This can create a cycle of them taking you for granted and not truly valuing what you bring to the table. There's a popular saying: out of sight, out of mind, but when you're gone, it's the opposite. They become fixated on you. They start to wonder where you are, what you're doing, and if you're with someone else. This curiosity can turn into an obsession as they try to gather any information about your life without you there to provide it. Practical advice: stay completely off the grid. Don't post updates or engage with mutual friends about your life. Allow them to wonder and imagine what you're doing. The less they know, the more they will think about you. This mystery will keep you in their thoughts, and they'll start to feel the urgency to find out more about you. 4. Painful self-reflection. After the initial shock and curiosity, the person you've left behind will start to reflect on their own actions. If you don't create this space for self-reflection, they might never realize how they took you for granted. Instead of learning from the experience, they could remain stuck in their old habits, believing they can continue treating people the same way without facing any consequences. As the saying goes, we do not learn from experience. We learn from reflecting on experience. This quote highlights the importance of taking time to think about what went wrong. When they are forced to confront their mistakes without your presence to distract them, it can lead to painful realizations. They might start to recognize how their behavior pushed you away and how they failed to appreciate what you offered. Practical advice: allow them to sit with their thoughts. Resist the urge to reach out and explain why you left or what they did wrong. This moment of reflection can be powerful, as they begin to understand the value of your presence and what they lost. The more time they have to think, the greater the chance they'll realize their mistakes and how to avoid repeating them in the future. 5. Urgent desire to reconnect. As the reality of your absence sinks in, the person you left behind may feel a strong urge to reach out to you. This desire to reconnect is crucial for them. It's a sign that they're beginning to recognize your worth. However, if you rush back into their life too soon, they might not fully grasp the consequences of their actions. Instead of appreciating you, they may revert to their old patterns, taking you for granted once again. There's a quote that resonates here: "You don't know what you've got until it's gone." This saying captures the essence of their feelings. Initially, they may have been dismissive or indifferent, but now that you're not around, they realize how much you meant to them. The urgent desire to reconnect often stems from fear and regret, making it essential for them to understand the impact of your absence before you engage with them again. Practical advice: let them make the first move. When they reach out, don't immediately jump at the chance to rekindle things. Instead, take your time to assess whether they've genuinely changed. Encourage them to express what they've learned during your absence. This way, they will not only feel the need to reconnect, but will also appreciate the journey they've taken to understand their feelings. 6. Realization of your independence. When you disappear from someone's life, they often come to a profound realization about your independence. This moment can be eye-opening for them, highlighting how much they relied on you for emotional support and validation. If they fail to recognize this independence, they may continue to view you as someone who will always be available, missing out on the growth they need to experience. A fitting quote for this lesson is: "Sometimes you have to take a step back to see the bigger picture." This reflects the idea that your absence forces both you and them to gain perspective. They might begin to see that your happiness and well-being aren't tied to their approval or presence. Instead, you have your own life, interests, and passions that can thrive independently of them. Practical advice: use this time apart to focus on your own growth and interests. Encourage them to do the same. When they reach out, share what you've been up to and how you've been investing in yourself. This not only reinforces your independence, but also serves as a reminder that you're not defined by their presence in your life. Let them see that you've found your strength and happiness outside of the relationship, which will help them understand the importance of valuing you properly in the future. Now we are about to end the video. Now it is time to change your life. Write a comment and say that you want to change your life, no matter how difficult it is to change. I will read each of your comment and feature one of the best comment in our channel. If you want a daily dose of unfiltered motivation, subscribe to our channel.